Hi, welcome to the strat part of the tutorial where I talk about strats in the levels as opposed to just how to get to the levels. Okay, assuming you were listening last time, I'll skip over all the shit I talked about in the first video and teach you all the grown-up stuff for cool kids like myself. When you come down this tunnel where there are two enemies in the shape of the word truth, you'll need to miss the checkpoint at the bottom and start holding right when you're about halfway down there. Then, for this fancy looking V room, hold right the whole way across. I don't care what you think is right, I call the shots over here. The first major strat is Gordian Knot. If you're a pussy and or have just started running the game, disregard this entirely. This trick is frame perfect and features an additional frame perfect and sprite dependent trick in the next room if you get the strat correctly, but I saved myself the trouble of recording it. There is no setup, just hope you get it, and okay, moving on. In this here lies room, if you die because you're terrible, it's a much better idea to exit the room and try again, like a fresh start. That way all the cycles will be the same as the first time you tried it. If the perfect cycles and the easy movement were your problem in the first place, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Next up is the cloud thing. Don't get this here checkpoint, because if you get the checkpoint, your dad will never love you again. This is the fastest RTA viable strat, and it's not actually that hard. As soon as you hit this part, the moment you make the slightest contact with this part, you need to flip down and then flip back up. Once there are no cubbies in your way, hold right and you'll slide past the cloud in the next room. If you don't want to do this stretch, just zigzag your way up past the clouds. Again, don't get the checkpoint because you can make it to the next one easy given you don't slow yourself down. Next here is the lies trick. I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea what makes this work, so you're on your own there, bud. This one is called Pick Yourself Down. I'm not going to commentate over this, and I'm just going to show you some neat setups and visual cues instead. Then seeing dollar signs is kinda interesting. It's definitely not difficult, but you'll need to enter the room knowing what you're gonna do, because this room doesn't take kindly to improv. But nevertheless, you should be able to make it in one cycle. For I forgot what this room is called, you need to press left and flip at the same time to make it across quickly. You can't hold left, I promise, shut up. And finally for SS2 is down under. If you want to do the stupid hard slow way, you'll have to learn it from this video. I ain't teaching you that shit. But the checkpoint strat, however, requires you to not hit anything on the way in, flip and hold right as soon as you hit the checkpoint and flip accordingly. That's all for SS2, make sure you subscribe. Okay, now for Warp Zone. This level is short as heck and relies mainly on your execution to go fast, so don't worry. First up is the green room with all the crazy headless guys. Don't you fucking dare get that checkpoint. If I even see you thinking about it, I'll stab you right in the leg. Hug this wall until the last guy passes this point here, and you'll look really cool and nobody in school will beat you up anymore. For this obey room, as soon as you get into it, hold left all the way and flip accordingly. The only catch is the last flip is more precise than it looks, I'll leave you with that. When you see this pink room with a teleporter in it, this should be the signal that you need to get ready for the next room. Hold right as hard as you can, like there's a landmine under the button, and if you let go your house will blow up. It's vital in this yellow room that you don't let go of right and flip sensibly. If you die, you can't get out of the room and will have to improvise with the stupid level design, but I recommend just resetting entirely if it even comes to that. Next up is Shockwave Rider. Hug this wall until the left side of this triangle touches the right side of this column here and do 2 swift flips and you'll be safe and also sound. This trick is for people who are really serious about running this game. Even then, only Chad is retarded enough to go for it. If you press R just as you hit this warp token, you'll spawn in the next room up top. This saved 9 frickin' frames, it's not worth it, kiddo. Then for this broken heart room is the first use of flipping while you're off a platform. It should be the first anyway, unless you weren't listening and tried to do Gordian Knot. Shame on you, man, I thought we were friends. Wait as long as possible while you're still visibly on the platform at all before you flip, and you can save a cycle. That's all for Warp Zone. Okay, Tower is easy as fuck. It's the easiest level in the game for any percent at least, and there's only one trick to it. If you die when you hit a checkpoint, the level will scroll up to you. There's like 5 of these checkpoints, which I'll show right here. But if you do it too late after hitting one, first of all you're a stupid idiot, get out of here, and also you won't save any time. So that's thankfully all for Tower. Now for the intermission! I'm not going to go to the trouble of explaining this polarity gimmick, I'll assume you're not entirely stupid. The first strat is in this room here. Stand in the middle, wait, then go. Easy. Next up is the fast cycle here. Again, not much I can say about it, just watch the video and experiment and you'll get it. It's not hard at all. This isn't really a strat, but I see new players struggling with this all the time. Just take it slow for once, I'll allow you to take it slow, because if you die here, your run dies too. So just space out some tiny little movements and make sure you don't fuck everything up, no pressure. Now for not as I do. This strat sucks big old fat dicks and I wouldn't advise doing it, but if you really are gay and you want your dad to look at your run to find out like tzann does, here's what you do. This uses the edge flipping principle like the broken heart room on Warp Zone, and it's much easier to do when you respawn at the checkpoint in the previous room. I'll put a link in the description to a video of a very attractive young player doing it, with a key display to show what he's doing. You're welcome. If you're smart and don't want to do this, then rush into the room and try to make sure you flip onto the underside of the first thing like it was a bus and you had no money, so you jumped onto the back of it just in time. Then do this cute little flip here, I promise it will work out. This strat should make you go, oh, if you haven't seen it before. Run straight onto the platform as soon as you enter the run. Uh-oh! You know what that means, fun fact time. That's actually more than one platform. Okay, anyway, rush onto it and wait until your feet are like next to the top of the wall here, and then hold right all the way. Voila, good job, I knew you could do it, hot stuff. That's all for intermission, now it's time for lab. Lab is easy. It would be easier than tower, no doubt, if the tower wasn't an auto-scroller. This is the level where line clips are introduced, and they are very important for the remainder of the game. These lines flip you automatically just in case you're like blind running this game, in which case, fuck you, stop looking up tutorials, it's not even fair. Hold left, hold left, hold left, hold left, hold left, hold... Stop! Hold left. Hold right, hold right, hold right, hold right, hold... Just keep holding right, trust me. Okay, now this is a line clip. Line clips happen when you flip 2 frames after you first make contact with a gravity line. Side note, this game runs at 29.4 frames per second. Good work, Terry, solid effort. Anyway, this game is really bad, so it makes you go through it. There are different ways to do this. You can time it, develop a rhythm for it, or just spam it. I recommend spamming your spacebar with 2 fingers in total, because I told you to do it, come on. Then there's a letter G skip, which I forgot to do in the video, so fuck it, leave it alone, it's stupid anyway. Hold right, hold right, hold right, hold right, hold... Stop. Then do this. When you pass this stupid checkpoint, hold left until you reach the end of the upcoming blue room, then sort of land on the checkpoint as you're moving, like as you're going into it. Then flip when you land and you should be good to hold left until the next blue room, where you use common sense and let go appropriately. Come on now, I'm not holding your hand here. If you just brush past this ball here, you can make a sweet cycle, and I'm sorry, but don't actively go for it, because I find that it makes you die on the ball a lot. You can do this if you don't value your own life. This room's full of shit, here's how to do it. And that's all for lab. And now for the final level. First up, hold right like you just came out of a military school that was actually a brainwashing Nazi camp and they held your eyes open while you watched videos of people holding right like in Clockwork Orange, and then that's all you know how to do now. Then flip when I do. Most of this is just platforming, so make sure you're good at that, by the way. Instead of doing this level the normal way, do it this way. Or if you're not feeling up to it, just bounce off the left one and onto the right one and sail away. Release your hold on the left button when you're just about to hit each line here so you don't die. Now there's 2 ways to do the waterfront. They are as follows. The second one is supposed to be easier and also faster. Now make sure you flip off this, and if you don't, what the frick are you doing? Pull yourself together, this is serious, I'm trying to help. Then watch closely and learn this next cycle here. Line clip and get ready to hold left. Press enter, press R, press profit. This is just like that yellow room in Warp Zone, you know the one, listen up, it's the same thing. Get the heck in there and get the heck out. Although this time you can actually exit the room if you die, reset the cycles and try again. At the end of that, here's the start of time slip. You can do a cheeky little flip here to skip a cycle, but if you don't want to, here's the slower strat. You see, you hug the wall until the thing starts going down, then you flip. Also, if you play this level like you have Parkinson's, I don't like you anymore, it's easy, no shaking around, just one backtrack for each square, it's easy. Line clip, kids his age bounce clone, stupid level, hold right, be careful, and then do this. For Heaven's Gate, you can actually hold right on the way in, and flip immediately as soon as you hit the ground. This will only get you past the first set of spikes, so be sure to let go afterwards to avoid the next one. Here's the final challenge, just in case you were curious. And GG, you beat the game. Maybe if you followed all the steps, even you could get a great time like this one. Make sure you subscribe for more tutorials. Just kidding, I'm not making any more Suck My Dick